So good evening, everyone. I'm Mrs. Waldron, and this is Mrs. Moore, and we're here to present to you the Mtes. We're going to start with the Educational Services Professional of the Year. And she's so excited because she loves the spotlight. Can we put that spotlight on her? It is with great pleasure that I announce the Mtes Educational Services Professional of the Year, Mrs. Allison Simone. Been with the Manchester Township School District since 2007. She transferred from the middle school in January of 2010, where she now serves as our school social worker. As a member of the Child Study Team, Mrs. Simone works closely with the school psychologist and the learning consultant and many related services professionals to assist our teachers in providing effective programming and accommodations for our students in need. She's the case manager for the majority of our special education students in the building, ensuring that they are receiving all the supports available to them in order for them to be successful. Over the years, I have watched her take on some of the most challenging students and develop strong bonds and relationships with both them and their families. You will often find these students in her office as she deeply cares for them and wants to go above and beyond to see that they're successful. You will also see her spending her own money to buy snacks or art supplies in particular, as she has a very big, caring heart. Mrs. Simone wears many different hats. She's the crisis prevention and intervention. She is crisis prevention and intervention trained. That means CPI for all of you that don't know. And she uses these skills to effectively de-escalate her students in need of behavioral supports and to keep them safe. She can be found sitting on a floor or running down the hall whenever it's needed. She's not afraid to assist a student who's acting out behaviorally. In addition, she is our anti-bullying specialist. Mrs. Simone stands out as a leader by seeking training and different professional development opportunities. Of course, there's mandated opportunities, but she wants to be the first point of contact person for all of our harassment and intimidation and bullying matters. She organizes our school safety team meetings, and she manages our school's build programs and trainings, and she completes the state's HIV report card. That's a lot of fun. Mrs. Simone is a participating member of Kayak, which is a county-wide organization that oversees services for children and families in Ocean County. She has extensive knowledge of services and supports that are available to our students and their families, and she's often giving that to those in need. She works with DCP&P to ensure that our students are safe and secure. Now you must be thinking, that doesn't really sound like the happiest of job duties. And it often can be upsetting and challenging and sad. But Mrs. Simone takes it on with a smile while facing the most challenging situations with our families. And she helps them find the bright side in any situation. Her workday is full, and then she goes home to her two beautiful daughters who are here tonight, Aubrey and Kaylee, where with her husband Anthony, they're dreaming of when they can go to their favorite magical place on earth. No, not Mtes, but Walt Disney World, where all of her dreams really do come true. So as you can see, Mrs. Simone is a valuable asset to us at Mtes and very deserving of this recognition. So join me in congratulating Ms. Allison Simone, Mtes's Educational Services Professional.
Despite what Mrs. Waldron says, I do not like the spotlight whatsoever, so this will be short. I would like to start by thanking the Board of Education, Mr. Trethewey, Mrs. Waldron, and Mrs. Moore. I am honored to be recognized by my peers for this award. I did begin in Manchester Middle School as a school social worker before transferring to Mtes. Being a member of the Child Study Team is very rewarding, but can be very challenging. We are truly a team in every sense of the word. At MTES, our team consists not only of my team members, Ronnie Anderson and Courtney Mtes, whose daily support keeps me running, but it also includes a supportive administration, related service providers, secretaries, teachers, paraprofessionals, and parents. We are able to problem solve together to meet the needs of our students and have fun while we're doing it. Mr. Lokerson has had the pleasure of working with me for the past 14 years. Every time I call, he is eager to hear what I have to say. His leadership and support help to drive our district's special education service providers. Being a social worker is not a job that is left at the door at the end of the day. I am deeply connected to the students I serve. I enjoy seeing them each day and providing them with a little extra attention and guidance. My hope is that our students know how special they are and that we are here for them to help them find success. I would like to thank my husband Anthony for always being my rock and support through all the years. My girls Kaylee and Aubrey for keeping me on my toes and grounded. In Manchester, students are first. I am proud to be a part of such an amazing district. Thank you again for this award.
It is with great pleasure that I now announce MTES's Governor Educator of the Year, Mrs. Laura Weaver. Mrs. Weaver has been with the Manchester Township School District since 2007. However, teaching wasn't her first career plan. As a graduate of Manchester Township High School, she decided to pursue an accounting career, which led her to become a CPA. She then married her husband, Frank, and when her daughters, Kylie and Alexa, see I had a Kaylee, and now I have a Kylie, were born, she took time off to raise them. During that time, she learned the gift of volunteering, and thanks to her daughter's second grade teacher, she vowed that education would be her passion. After student teaching at Ridgeway, MTES scooped her up for a position as a self-contained teacher, where she remained for about 6 years, until she became the resource room teacher, where she remains today. Mrs. Weaver is a dedicated, enthusiastic teacher leader who has made a positive impact on so many students and the MTS community over these past 14 years. As a special education teacher, she works hard to see that all of her students have the opportunity to learn in a safe environment. Working with students with disabilities is not easy, but Mrs. Weaver has it down to a science, using varied teaching methods tailored to specific needs of each of her students. She spends hours upon hours researching new methods and ways to modify for her students. The one thing that makes Mrs. Weaver stand out over the rest is her ability and willingness to share. I know that all teachers share, but Mrs. Weaver freely shares because she wants all of the students, wherever she is, whoever she's teaching, or whoever is teaching them, to have access to everything she has ever learned or read about or found out about. Mrs. Weaver demonstrates leadership and innovation inside and outside of the classroom, as evidenced by the fact that she attends so many different workshops. She teaches specialized programs, and she explores countless professional development opportunities on her own. Her love of learning is like no other. She will track me down no matter where I am over the summer to make sure she can attend a workshop. But that's not the end of it. She will then prepare presentations and packets for the teachers so that they can share in the knowledge that she just gained. Laura not only shares the resources, she then creates additional resources, and she makes sure that students and staff benefit from them as well. Her creativity goes beyond the classroom, as is witnessed by her collaboration with our custodial staff to create the school's annual snowman that we have displayed in the front of our school. In case you haven't seen it, it's made of tires and recycled materials. Her love of art continues as she freely gives of her time and her talents to host an art club for our 5th grade students with another one of our colleagues. She's an amazing artist with an art degree, and she donates her talents to our school by volunteering to paint mascots throughout the building, face paint at fun fairs, and paints murals in our rooms. And if that isn't enough, she makes a memorable contribution each year to our 5th grade class that brings all of us to tears. She once again taps into her time and talents, and she creates the end of the year video with pictures and music for our entire 5th grade, and she's working on that right now, along with trying to get her daughter married in about 4 days. This treasured gift is enjoyed by all of our students, parents, and staff at MTES and is appreciated more than she knows. Her passion allows her to build caring relationships with students and staff, and she is a highly respected staff member throughout our district. It should be noted that Mrs. Weaver has been nominated in the past for this award. However, this year, 9 of her colleagues nominated her. They all felt so strong about what she does for our school community and felt that it should be noted that she is a humble hero, and I couldn't agree more. Our positive school culture and climate, where respect and success is celebrated at MTS, is largely thanks to the contributions of Mrs. Weaver. As you can see, Mrs. Weaver is truly an asset to our school community and highly deserving of this award. Congratulations, Mrs. Weaver.
It is truly an honor to be here with so many talented, driven, and enthusiastic educators. It can't be said enough that the Manchester School District is made up of amazing people. I graduated from high school here. I was only in Manchester for 4 years. I moved here as a freshman, which was really hard. As a benefit, I met my husband. I think that's a benefit, right? He's not talking. But I want to echo what Crystal said. It's hard to accept this award when you know your colleagues work so hard and are just as vested in their students as you are. I would like to thank our superintendent, Mr. Trethewey, the Board of Education, my principal and vice principal, Linda Waldron and Jill Moore, my family and friends, and everyone celebrating with us today. I would also like to thank my friends and colleagues for taking the time to nominate me for Teacher of the Year. It was so touching to hear that 9 of my friends had nominated me. This was such a difficult year. Time was such a commodity, so for them to take the time to do that, I can't express enough how much that meant to me. I need to thank my husband Frank and my daughters Kylie and Alexa. I could not have returned to school if it wasn't for Frank's support. He had to be mom and dad during that time, and my daughters got to go to wrestling practice with him. They really enjoyed it. And now my daughter's a teacher, also my oldest daughter, and I bounce ideas off her. And my youngest daughter was a lit major. She just graduated, and she edits my speeches for me, so she's useful too. As Mrs. Waldron mentioned, my path to teaching wasn't a straight line. I was a CPA for 12 years. If you know me, you'd probably think, what were you thinking? Exactly, I don't know what I was thinking. And my last job, I actually got to teach classes in the Microsoft Office package. And that's when somebody said, have you ever thought about being a teacher? And I was like, no. But then when I did stop working, I did start working in my daughter's school, and that's when I realized this was meant for me. I was truly blessed to work at Ridgeway doing my observations and student teaching under Crystal Paul Castro, who taught me how to share and how important it is to work with your colleagues. I also worked with Tracy Kiernan, who's also a master teacher, and I think the one thing I learned from Tracy is no matter how long you're teaching, you should be excited every day when you get up and come to school. I worked in special education as a self-contained teacher, and that's where I met a student that I just couldn't help. I couldn't figure out how to teach her to read. She was so smart. She could figure anything out. She used every tool you gave her, but I couldn't move her along in reading. So I returned to school again, and I became Morton Gillingham trained. And unfortunately, she moved away before I could use those skills to teach her. And I think about her still every day, and I hope that she found the teacher she needed. But because of her, she inspires me to be better, to work harder, and I have been able to help many students because of her, and I hope that she found the teacher she needed too. The Manchester School District, again, I can't say this enough, It's full of amazing teachers and staff who work tirelessly to provide our students with the best education possible. If you walk through any hallway in these schools, you'll run into teachers who are collaborating for the 5 minutes they have between classes, asking, what can I do for this kid? I'm running out of ideas. And they're working it out. I truly believe Manchester always puts the needs of each student first. I am very proud to be a part of this community. Thank you very much for this wonderful honor.